Hello, everybody. Apparently, I should have cleared my throat before I started talking. Welcome back to some Fallout 4. Picking up where we left off, we are heading towards the East Boston Preparatory School to take out. Oh, I don't remember his name now. The raider guy that is making Bunker Hill pay for protection. I after I finished recording last time, or as I was recording last time, whatever, during the last video, I said that I still had to go back to Sunshine Tidings and finish putting up the defenses there. Still haven't done it. I've been really slack. Oh, I thought that was Mentats. I've been fairly slack on fixing, like doing like the minor stuff that there's no point in making a whole video about, setting up the defenses, putting the decoration stuff out. So yeah, we're going to the prep school. I don't remember if this is the prep school that I'm thinking of. I don't know that that's a prep school actually that I'm thinking of, because I know there's a school. I don't think it's this one that has like a pink paste that we actually picked up from the one random encounter we had with raiders. The one raider was apparently addicted to it. And yeah, I don't think it's this one, because I'm pretty sure that one's full of ghouls, and this is like a guarantee where it's gonna send you, Oh, this garage requires a key. That's interesting. I don't spend a whole lot of time in this section of the map. I mean, I explore around Diamond City a lot. What just popped up on my screen there? I was walking. Oh, maybe Preston ran in front of me and that popped up for a second. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know what's with the garage. I really don't know. Is this the school? Yeah. Alright. So we'll head in here. Let's take a quick... Right, it doesn't look like they have anybody guarding the outside, which is interesting. You would think that raiders would have at least somebody keeping watch. Also, the fact that Jump is here, because like I recently bought a few puzzle games. I bought because they were on sale. Glass Masquerade 1 and 2. Glass Masquerade I had already owned on my PC, but I had never played the second one. Not that they're literal puzzle games. So I mean, it's I highly doubt that there's going to be too much gameplay or story or anything to the second one, because there wasn't really any story to the first one. I think they're like, hey, you're like putting together pieces for a museum exhibit or something, or you were... because it says something about visiting exhibits with like all the achievements, where it's like, hey, you visited this country's exhibit, you visited this country's exhibit. But I mean, if you're visiting exhibits, you're generally not, piecing them together unless you're an animal, and when you visit them, you break them and then are forced to put them back together. But then I also got one. They're good games. So if you enjoy doing puzzles, they're very good games. They're just very chill, relaxed puzzle games. Oh, well, this set looks dead. But I also bought one called Hourglass, Lunchbox. Hey, we got a quantum. And got an ice cold one. Wow, that must have been a good fucking lunchbox. And yeah, you play as a girl going to find her grandpa, who was an archaeologist who went missing in Egypt, looking for some, like, the biggest... What the hell's that? Gumdrops? What? Um, and I can't remember, because you basically get the whole story.
Here's someone coming.
Or at least the...
Get into position.
Need a drink. Real shit, not moonshine.
Or at least the majority of it.
Someone took out Cinder and got at the end of the summer.
Right at the beginning with where your character's listening to
They were assholes, but at least
the news on the radio about how, like, you know, the search had been called off for her grandfather because they hadn't found anything, yada yada, right? But yeah, it's a puzzle game where you make a time clone of yourself, basically. So, like, when it starts, you have these doorways that you walk through, and as soon as you walk through the doorway, it starts recording. And then anything you do during that period of time, it's not very long a period of time. It's like 15, 20 seconds, maybe at most. I don't think that it's even 30 seconds anyway. Once that timer runs out, it reverts you back to when you first walked through the door. And, oh, look at that, it spells fine. And then a clone of yourself repeats whatever you just did. So, like, if you walk through the door, like, let's use this. Like, if I walked through this door and sat on the toilet for 30 seconds or whatever, 20 seconds, once that timer was over, I would revert back to me standing here, and then, like, a clone of myself, like, I would watch a clone of myself walk over and sit on the toilet, right? And that's the base mechanic of the game. You get an item later that lets you do it without the doorways, just wherever you're standing. Judge Zeller, that's the guy that we're here for.
Nothing personal. Yeah, I hope the next one dies, please.
But yeah, that's the entire game. Was really surprised though. Well, I guess I can't really say that without, because it basically you have a formal hat. I'm not sure that I don't even really remember. Goes with the tuxedo. I know we have a tuxedo, but I'll grab that. And a pompadour wig. Grab that. You don't get too many tuxedos. But yeah, you get the item that lets you do it wherever later. But you get the little bit of a story right at the beginning through the radio broadcast. And then when you're close to the end of the game, you're like, I don't know how many puzzles are in the game, but when you're roughly, I guess it depends on, because, like, you do a set of puzzles, and then you enter this other, and then, like, okay, so you have, like, the stuff, you go through a set of puzzles, then you enter this other area that has, like, a split path, and it has, like, 5 puzzles spread out, and you can do them in, I think, any order. A couple of them do have things that you need to find in order to reach the puzzles, but you still can do them in any order. So I get
combat positions.
So I guess it really depends on.
Yo, psst, hold. It's gonna be hard to sneak up on anything in here.
But yeah, so I guess depending, like, when you reach the area that splits off into 5 different puzzles, I guess in like the last section, because you do have to do them, like, there's 3 main sections of the game, and you do have to do them in a specific order. Um, Raider Psycho, Raider Scum, Raider Scabber. But yeah, you do have to do them in a specific order. But in the final section there is when you actually get a little bit more of the story. Technically, you do get more story, or you get more backstory as you go as to like why these things exist and everything, right? Like why these time doors and that exist, and what was going on in like this section of like this little like, section of Egypt that you're stuck in. But it's all told through like hieroglyphs on the walls that you can completely ignore. There's also these statues are set up in different areas. Like before you go down one of like the main puzzle routes, they have a map of what you're about to go through. Not like of the puzzles themselves, but of just like the general area. And I noticed in a couple of them that they had little offshoots. Like, they're more or less a straight path, but then there's like a couple of things that are like just a little off to the side. And I thought, that's weird. They're, you know, because like there's no achievements for collectibles or anything. Like all the achievements are gotten through playing the game. The only thing that you would need to know in order to get all the achievements would be that when you're in the section that has the 5 puzzles, you only need 4 of them to get the item to beat the game. But if you do all 5 in all 3 sections, because at the end of each of the puzzles in those sections, you get a crystal, and if you get 4 crystals in one of those sections, then you unlock the seal that you need to progress in the game. And
What?
oh fuck. A blood contract.
Anything useful?
And a retreat for now.
Shit's got ambushed. Getting shook up over nothing.
Okay. Let's see what that blood contract was, though, because I don't remember seeing one of those before. With my blood, I do swear my life to the judge and his jury until the end upon pain of torture and death. Oh, pleasant. But yeah. That's all you need for the achievement. So I was really wondering, like, what could be down these side paths, because it doesn't make sense, right? But, like, they're just, like, usually near the beginning. Oh, wait, there's an overdue book underneath the dish rag. What's in the toilet, though? Canned dog food. Well, we actually do need that if I want to get dogs. But yeah, so I went down there, and it's usually right near the beginning, and it's just like this little, like, 100 feet, like, little offshoot that just opened into, like, a little square circle area, right? Into this little area that has just a statue there. The statue doesn't do anything. It's,
What the fuck was that?
it was me missing, apparently. But yeah, like, the statue doesn't do anything. It doesn't, like, I don't know if it's supposed to represent something from the hieroglyphs, because, I mean, I looked at all the hieroglyphs. They more or less made sense.
This is bullshit.
But, I'm going to assume that he was the only one down there then, since nobody else seemed to be alerted by that. But yeah, and that's it. Like they were just these statues that, you know, more or less represented. They were just bigger versions of some of the people you saw in the hieroglyphs. That was telling you the backstory of the tribe, I guess, that lived in that section of Egypt. I say I guess because, like, I don't know that the groups of people in Africa called themselves tribes. I mean, like, clans? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, they were just bigger statues of them, and I thought it was rather weird. Oh, is that a league bowling pin? No, just a regular.
What the hell was that?
So yeah, I thought that
You're in
was
shit.
a little weird, but you know, whatever. Um, the blood contract, I'm not
You
gonna
sure
bother
you
to
saw
take
something?
more of those. Lunchbox, what do I get? Just a pencil. Alright, well, can't win them all, right? But yeah, it was a really good game. A lot of the puzzles... Souvenir teddy bear. That's a creepy looking teddy bear, but whatever, I'll take it. I don't think I've actually gotten one of those before. I didn't have to look up anything for any of the puzzles, except for the bonus puzzle. So like I said, if you collect all 5 of the crystals
What the?
in each section
I must have a keen
that you need the crystals,
seeing things.
it unlocks like the final puzzle, right?
You hear that?
And and just like all the other puzzles that took me a while. Now it could have been because like it was really late at night
Come out and fight.
when I was doing it, because like I had done,
Pack it in, boys.
I only had like a few puzzles left to the game, and I knew that, but it was like really late. But I wanted to get it done because I knew that I only had like a few puzzles left, and yeah, I just I was just really tired, and I was just stuck on it for so long, and I just had like no idea, right? Like I knew what. Oh, there's a mini nuke on there. Like I knew what I needed to do. I just didn't know how to mechanically do it, you know, which is fun. Like that's, to me, is a good puzzle game. Is when you need to figure out how to do it mechanically. But once you figure it out, it's not necessarily difficult to do, right? Because like that, like there's a lot of puzzle games out there where figuring it out what you need to do is easy, but just actually doing it is difficult. Those bears are 69 in there. And I don't find those to be good puzzles where it's just like, oh, it's not necessarily obvious, but it's a little bit easier to figure out what it is you're supposed to be doing.
Fuck was
But
Oh, hell no!
playing games with me, huh?
No!
man, I hope nobody comes up behind me.
Fucking pig! Oh.
But yeah, I don't find those to be good puzzles when it's when figuring out what to do isn't the hard part, but actually doing it is. Because to me, that just really takes away from it. There's a lot of dickheads in this room. I'll go over to the book.
Only a fucking coward hides.
Says the group of people who lay in ambush to surprise the people they want to take out. Um, but yeah, like a lot of the puzzles, like I would be sit there, I'd be stuck on them, and then I would realize, oh wait, this is like a thing I can do, and it's not like, well, like for example, right? When you make your time clone, they copy whatever it is you do, and once they've done that, you can't like fuck them up. So like at one point, I needed to make the time clone, pick up a block, run to an area, put the block down, jump up on the block, and push a button. But what I couldn't figure out is while they're doing that, because you can't start it whenever you want. As soon as the time rewinds, your clone goes out to do it. You can't replay it. If you want, like, if you did whatever, like, the correct thing with the clone, but you fucked up the part you needed to do while they're doing their part, you then have to completely redo their part in order to, wow, would you look at that? Dare anybody to try doing that in real life. Anyway, you then have to redo their part because you have no chill, which is, or like, you have no
Seen anything?
way to like delay your clone doing anything besides just, you know, when you start doing the stuff to get your clone to do it, like you just stand still for a second. And there are times where you have to do that,
Get a grip on yourself.
where you have to like have your clone like go up, prepare to do something, wait, and then do it so that you can get into position. Okay, so that led me all the way around. But yeah, so like I needed, while my clone was going over, picking up the block, putting it down, jumping on it, pushing the button, I needed to find a way to get the block onto the thing onto this other thing, right? But I needed to be so that it could be moved to an area. Now, I needed to be
What the fuck? You are so dead!
on this section to send the block.
Shit!
I'm detected. Was one of those the judge, maybe? So like while they did it, I couldn't do it. But for some reason it wasn't registering with me that I could have the block sitting on the thing that needed to be moved, right? And then once the clone started going out, I could push my button, which would move the block up to where it needed to go. But because the clone was just copying the movements it did before, even though it wasn't picking up the block, it would still go to the location where it sat it down and then be able to jump up on the cliff. Or jump up on the thing, right? And it's the same, like, one of the early ones that you do is you have the clone run across this bridge and, I don't know, probably push a button or something. And the thing that you need to do, this has got to be the judge. Although it keeps coming up detected.
Oh, it's on!
We're getting wasted. Ugh.
Yeah, you are. But then, like, you just don't push the button or whatever to raise the bridge, and the clone will just run across the air because in the clone's world, you know, that's there. And it's just, the way that it works, wow, he's freaking out good, makes it very easy sometimes to forget
I guess you've got your reasons.
that's happening, you know? So there was a lot of puzzles where I was just sitting there and I was like, right, the stupid clone doesn't actually need the thing, right? So like as soon as it resets me back to position, I can do my thing, which takes away the thing that the clone would technically need to use to do their thing. Because unless the because like if the and that's pretty much all that happened. Like I didn't even watch the actual solve of the bonus puzzle at the end. I started it. I saw the guy like start to do a thing, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I'm stupid," and
There
just
we
did it
go.
myself. Radaway heals 5% extra radiation damage. I really should put extra in here. Oh, that's where the shot came from. Really not good at seeing those all the time. But yeah, like that was the majority of my solves was me like, what the hell am I supposed to be doing here? Changing into, oh man, I'm a fucking idiot, and then just doing it easily. Right? Yeah, we're good. But yeah, it's a fun game. Like I said, you get if you look through the achievements of the game, you can see that they're pretty much all story-based achievements. And he was really freaking out. I'm gonna go back and get Preston out. And based on the achievements, you can probably guess what order you get them in. I can
Hey,
almost
Go ahead.
guarantee you
Come on. Consider it done.
that at least one of the achievements you'll get wrong. There's also what I realized. Now I'm assuming that if you hit continue after, because you do the puzzles there to get seals that you then have to put back into like the main hub area thing, and once you put in the third seal, it ends the game, right? Like it does its last cutscene and that's it, game over. I'm assuming that when you hit continue after that, it'll put you back to before you put in the last seal. But even still, if you do go for all the achievements, you can always just go, because it's really weird. Like it's the bonus puzzle, right? You have to do this extra stuff in order to unlock it and everything, and then you even have to know that it's there. Not that it's very hard to see. There's supposed to be, unless there's another terminal up here. Oh, maybe, yeah, there's another there. You would assume, because, like, it's a puzzle game and everything, like, you would kind of assume that it... Oh, wow, the cell keys are really weird. That, like, the bonus puzzle would be, like, the true ending or something, but it's not. It's just, like, this little extra puzzle. It gives you kind of, like, the final little backstory to the hieroglyphs and like the history bit of the story, but it's like, I don't know, it's just not very well. I guess the credits are down there too, like they have like this really big statue and then they have like a bunch of coffins that are like all have names on them that are like the Kickstarter backers or something. But anyway, let's get into this game that I've been playing and not talking about it all. Recruit Fishface. Beat him until his face swelled up and he couldn't eat. Let him heal, then beat him again. After a couple rounds of this, he got skinny quick. When we pulled him out for the last round, he told us he'd do anything if we just stopped. We made him sign the blood contract and put him immediately on the initiation crew. Rock Teeth. Guy didn't flinch from the usual stuff, not even tooth removal. He wanted to keep his eyes and hands, so he signed the blood contract. Fine. Kept pleading with us to kill him, didn't understand why we didn't just do what all the other gangs did. Starvation and regular beatings freaked him out, but the threat of death by rats broke him. Yeah, well, I mean... Yeah, I'll rescue you guys in a second. I got one more terminal to look at. Stinky, eh? Tried breaking him down with isolation and he responded to fire. Signed the blood contract after we burned the soles of his feet a couple times. He thanked us for the food after. Little reaction to broken fingers. Couldn't stand tooth removal of pliers. Signed the blood contract after starvation and threat of losing fourth tooth. This guy must have been killing for a while with another crew. Bastard smiled at everything we did. He liked getting tortured. Spit in our faces. We had to put him down. Alright. I feel like you didn't recruit him then.
Kessler send you? Thank God.
There you go. And everybody should be dead now.
I couldn't take much more of it. Thank you.
Oh, this must be one of the guards.
Don't let any of these Zeller's army bastards live.
I didn't. Hey, Preston idolizes you, which means we should be having a conversation here.
Hey, okay. You have a minute? Well, I wanted to talk about something.
What's on your mind?
I've been thinking back lately on how things were for me when we first met. It was the lowest point of my life. I mean, all my closest friends were dead. Everything I believed in had turned out to be a lie. I'd failed everyone who ever relied on me. I'd led them to Concord, and we had no hope of getting out alive. The thing is, that was actually okay with me. I was ready to die. It was what I felt I deserved. It was what I wanted.
You did your best, Preston. You can't blame yourself for what happened.
I knew it wasn't all on me, but I made my share of bad decisions along the way. I've got to live with that. My point in all of this is that, well, you saved my life. And not just by saving us from those raiders in Concord. I mean that you made me want to keep living again. I guess that sounds pretty sappy, but it's true. If we hadn't met, or if you'd killed those raiders and then just taken off, I don't know if I'd still be around. I think I would have found some way to, you know, end it. Maybe not by shooting myself in the head or anything, but just by not caring about staying alive. So I just wanted you to know that. How much our friendship has meant to me.
I'm glad you decided to stick around, Preston. The world needs more people like you.
Well, now you're making me embarrassed. I hope I didn't make you too uncomfortable telling you all that. I just felt like it needed to be said, you know? I guess we should get back to it, huh?
Alright, so now we have the United We Stand perk, which, if I'm not mistaken, go look, because that should be, I think if you're surrounded, you get better. You deal 20% more damage and gain 20 damage resistance when facing 3 or more opponents. Yeah, it is honestly a really good perk, because there are plenty of times when. Here's the thing: I think it's a really good perk. I'm not entirely sure how they calculate. How many? I'm assuming just how many red markers are on the. Are on the compass determines how, like, whether or not you're facing that many people, right? But yeah, 20% extra damage, 20% or plus 20 damage resistance. I'm not entirely sure how damage resistance works in this game, so I'm just going to, you know, say it's good. Oh look, the overdue book return terminal. Overdue books, yes. 5 of them, which means there's still 4 more in here that I didn't find. Because there are, I do believe, 9 in this place. Which is a lot, but I'm not going to spend too much time on camera looking for it. I may look for them after I'm done recording, just because there's also 9 Vault-Tec lunch boxes. What I get? Oh, I've got another iBot model. And let's see, how many... Should be under... No, that's under miscellaneous. How many Vault-Tec lunch boxes are there? 5 of those we got. Alright. So we're still missing some of them as well. Got some more settlers. I guess they were testing to see if the mattress would break their fall. Clearly didn't. Let's open that. Okay, so that was one of the chained up doors. We still have one more chained up door though. That we have of the room we have to drop into, and that'll be the that theater that we saw. Okay, this I'm trying to remember how to get upstairs. There we are. I don't even actually know. I remember the chain door, like seeing it, that it was chained, but I don't remember now where it was. But whatever, here we are. Just hop over the railing. There it is. Right there. As I was talking about, I was walking by it as I was talking about it. Cap stash. Couple bottle caps. There's the dead guy down here. So, I'm assuming all of these guys are the ones that were on the terminals, but obviously there was a lot more of them than we read entries about, because there was only 5 that he recruited in the entries and 1 he killed. Stage. No, that's stage right? Because, I mean, stage left and right is supposed to be from this perspective, and that would be right. It's weird. But yeah, it's, I don't remember what I was saying. I just gone completely. Wait, that's, oh yeah, the ribcage and pelvis. Man, if you wanted bones, you could get them. Or like a full set of bones, you could get them here. Alright. Like I said, we're missing 4. I think. Check here. Yeah, there's 9 overdue books. And 9 Vault-Tec lunch boxes. We found 5 of each, which is interesting. But I'm not too worried about it, so we'll just head back to Bunker Hill and turn in our quest, and that'll make a good one part. Because if I stayed there to try and find them all, odds are I'd want to split it into 2, because it would have went over an hour if I did that. Now though, we've maxed out Preston's affection, or whatever you want to call it. We've maxed out Codsworth's. They're the only 2 companions that we currently have access to that give us perks for maxing them out. So now I guess the question for me that I need to answer by next part, and I'll probably do that as I go back to the school and look for the remaining lunchboxes and that, is who I want for a companion next. Because, I mean, no matter who it is, I'm going to have to make my way towards them. Because there's no companions that you can pick up in Bunker Hill. And the only other companions I'm thinking of is there's one that's down here somewhere. I don't remember exactly where. It's along this river anyway. You do like a whole quest line to get them. There's one that I can pick up immediately in Diamond, like pretty much as soon as I get to Diamond City. So I could, make my way there. Good Neighbor is somewhere over here, and there's 2 that I can get there, one of which I think I just have to show up to get, and he actually has a very broken perk. And then we have my favorite one, who I think is somewhere in this section, but I can never remember where she is. And then we obviously have Nick, but we would end up with Piper long before. Like, you have to get Piper before you get Nick, I think. And I'm trying to think of the rest of the... whatever. Either way, need to figure out who I'm
One
going
of
to
the
have
prisoners
next.
told me what they went through at the prep school. I had no idea. And you did that by yourself, right? Here's the payout.
All right.
It's the Minutemen who helped you. If you
Hey.
support us,
Thanks.
we can help even more.
Oh my God! Stop walking, you dumb whore!
I
Hey,
might be a doctor
For
one
a
day.
change, someone I actually
Or
want to
maybe
see.
a sharpshooter.
The Hill owes you. Raiders will think twice about the double cross after what you did at the prep school. Market's the white building with all the fancy.
oh my God! All right, I'm gonna load my save from when I fast traveled over here so we can actually have the conversation with the dumb whore. Hate it when they fucking do that. It's so annoying. See, now that's the issue though with having like the Radiant kind of conversations with them, where like they can just
I'd
like
hate
say
to have
some
to
stuff
attack
as you
this
walk
place.
by.
One of the prisoners told me what they went through at the prep school. I had no idea. And you did that by yourself, right?
Well,
Here's the
technically
payout.
Preston was there.
It's the Minutemen who helped you. If you support us, we can help even more.
Yeah, right. The Minutemen abandoned our sorry asses long ago. A lot of
She's
people's
fucking
kin
doing
died
it
because
again.
of that. Listen, you did us a good turn, but it would take a hell of a lot more for me to want to deal with the Minutemen.
The Minutemen are under new management. Me. You can trust us now.
Really? That's almost tempting. But except for the occasional hiccup, we're looking out for ourselves just fine. Pass.
What did the prisoner say about the prep school?
Judge Zeller was snatching people and brainwashing them. Like some damn cult. No wonder their numbers exploded.
Glad it turned out well.
I'm happy you're on our side. With your help, the roads are a lot safer. Heard you got land of your own. Tell you what, build a safe place for the caravans to stop, and everyone can profit. But either way, you're welcome back to the Hill anytime.
All right. Okay, so like I said, tried to get her to join the Minutemen there. She won't because it's because you can't do that until basically the end of the game. Then you can get her to join you, and then you can do stuff around Bunker Hill and that. All right. So with that though, we actually got. I don't actually know where it goes or where it is though. It wouldn't be under resources, maybe. Yeah, there it is. A trade caravan post. So this is basically a. That's fine. I can have it facing that way. Boop. And I'll build two. Like that. Perfect. So what this does basically is all of the caravans that are associated with Bunker Hill now have a chance whenever I fast travel to or from this place, or I guess when I enter the load zone, but let's face it, I'll probably just be fast traveling. They'll have a chance to spawn here. And it just gives you access to a few more of the caravans without having to track them down. All right,
Just point me to it.
let's talk.
Can I help with something?
Let's
It's
dismiss.
time for us to part ways.
You go to Sanctuary Hills,
I'll head
of
home.
course.
Don't get yourself into trouble out here by yourself.
I won't. And then Preston, because I don't really need him working on food, can be assigned to a guard post along with the Longs. Yo, now we have 3 guard posts, we have 3 guards, we should be good on that front. Alright, so like I said, with that, so we need to get a new companion. So like I said, there's Kate, who's my favorite. So we could go and get her, but I don't remember exactly where the location you get her from is. But if you go to that location, you just get her. And that's it. That we still haven't got Kiri. But if we get Kiri, not only do we have to go and do a very annoying quest, or it's at least very annoying because of the way I like to do it. For her, well, I guess you have to do that with Kate too. Both Kiri and Kate have companion quests that require you to go to a separate location. Kiri's is actually just a good neighbor, I think. I don't think you need to take her anywhere else. But for Kiri's, you also have to have progressed further in the main storyline. So, whereas Kate's her companion quest is just really far south. Then we have Dance, and like I said, I could go and see if I can have him follow me, but right now as a companion. But even then, we would only be able to progress him so far until until we needed to once again progress the main storyline to get the Brotherhood of Steel into the Commonwealth, so that we can finish his quest line. And I'm not even sure if you need to advance anything more than that to get his full quest line. We have Deacon, but we need to go and join the railroad for that. We have Hancock, but we need to go to Good Neighbor for that one. And honestly, I've never even used him before, so I don't know if he has like a quest or anything that's required for him, or like either to get him or just afterwards. There's McCready, which we can go to Good Neighbor, and we can just hire him. He's a mercenary. We can just hire him, and I know he has, I think anyway, that he has a quest, like a companion quest, but once again, I've never really done it often enough to remember it. We have Piper, which we could just go and get, and I don't think she has a quest assigned to her because she's like a part of the main storyline, so I don't think that they bothered to give her a companion quest. We have Strong, which once again, he's further south from us. Like, he's fairly far south, and, to begin the quest to get him requires us to go fairly far south, and then it requires us to go, I don't even remember, into one of, like, the big tower buildings in the city. Into one of the skyscrapers, so, yeah, I don't know. If anything, I'm thinking of just heading down to Diamond City so we can pick up Piper, and then we can also advance the main quest line at least a little bit. And I mean, Diamond City is right there. We do have some other quests that we could do as well, and also this little like bit of land here that the prep school was on. We could also finish clearing this place because there is only, like, there's the Easy City Downs, there's a police station. How was that place? And that, but I don't know if I really care enough to clear it out right now. Since when the Brotherhood of Steel shows up, that's where they're going to go. Oh. Interesting. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I really don't know what I'm gonna do next. Well, you know what? Let's see. How much is in between us and if we go down to Diamond City? Where is Diamond City on this map? Well, that looks a little too far south. Okay, that's the bridge there. Down here. Oh, it's actually not that far at all. There's really only a couple of things in between where we've already been and where it is, including another settlement. So yeah, maybe that's what we'll do next time. Maybe we'll head down to Diamond City, because then at the very least we'll start at like the CIT ruins and just head down. Because there's like a location on the bridge here that we could probably clear out rather quickly, and then we could just head straight down. I mean, there's a settlement like just to the side here, but it's a fairly worthless settlement in like every sense of the word. Like you just go there, clear out the raiders, and it's yours, but it's such a trash settlement. I'd never really build anything in it. But that'll be it for this part. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you on Friday for more.